right now, and we're just going to go down the line, starting with Mr. Birdsall, start in alphabetical order. And I hope you guys are all right with sharing the microphone. This is a friendly forum after all.
Did you say microphone they had last time?
Yes, sir. Yes, they are. All right, so we're going to start with a question that has been in the news very lately for Tracy. The Tracy Ballpark, according to some city estimates, could cost more than $4 million to properly rebuild into a more adequate sports field. In doing so, it would compete with other projects, such as a new animal shelter for capital improvement funds. It's also a neighborhood treasure, part of the city history, and the city has very, very loosely proposed turning the park into a housing development and moving those sports activities there to the Holly Sugar Sports Complex, which is under development. Given all that, what do you think should be done with the Tracy Ballpark, Mr. Birdsall?
At this point, I think we need to leave it as a ballpark. Number one, we have that ballpark is used constantly. Every day when I go by it, there are kids out there. I also look at the fact that that land was donated to the city, and until I really have proof of why we should not leave it as a ballpark, I would say at this time we need to supplement the Holly Sugar Parks with the Tracy ballpark.
Thank you. Councilman Maciel, same question to you. And if anybody needs questions repeated tonight, feel free to ask.
Yeah, the ballpark issue is really shot to the forefront here in the last few weeks. And perhaps, and I wasn't at the meeting, and I wasn't at the meeting by design. I don't want to, I think as elected officials go to some of those community meetings, they become a distraction. My understanding is that perhaps some concepts were presented prematurely. I think when I consider the ballpark issue, we have to look long-term, big picture. There was a time that I certainly spent a lot of wonderful evenings playing softball in that facility, and it's not primarily used for that anymore because better facilities are developed elsewhere. Right now it's serving youth football, and in 3, 4, 5 years, the Holly Sugar site may develop and be a better site for that. So I think we need to think about, I'm not opposed to the concept of developing that, but it has to be approached very intelligently. Everyone involved in the discussion, the neighborhood certainly, and I strongly believe that you have to honor, to a degree, the intents of the Ritter family when the property was donated. A lot of questions to be answered. Ultimately, you know, it may not be the best thing to develop it, but I think it's certainly worthy of consideration, and you include all parties in the discussion. The neighbors, the neighborhood certainly should have a say in that, and there should be some form of I'm going to watch you there, Sam. Some sort of park incorporated in whatever happens there.
Thank you, Councilman. Mr. Mann?
Thank you, Mike. The Tracy Ballpark was created by the doer generation, a generation that's really missing today. The land was donated, it was outfitted with ballparks and donated all on the basis of a handshake. And that's something that we have to honor regardless if it's been 10 years or 60 years. Selling the park and even considering development at this point would be a travesty. The new ballparks, the Holly Sugar Sports Park, were created to supplement the overusage of the ballparks throughout Tracy. From the Planning Commissioner's perspective, if we were building those homes now, we would consider the ballpark an amenity. Any land, green space, parks is a benefit to any community, and I can't even imagine why we would consider taking a green field out of an urban area. From the perspective of a city council member, I'll make sure it's here to stay.
Thank you, Mr. Mann. Mr. Morelos? Same question.
Thank you. Yes, the Tracy Ballpark has a history, a very, very long golden history. But number one is that you have to listen and should listen to the neighbors in that surrounding who surround the ballpark. I can recall in the past where some of the neighbors didn't like the sports, the noise that was going out there. But that has changed over the years, and they've gotten used to it, and they like the way it is. If apartments were built out there, it would totally totally change the whole neighborhood. And I don't think that's what we want. And when you talk about the Holly Sugar Sports Field, even when we build that out, we're still behind in sports facilities, sports fields for the kids. There are so many kids that are playing these sports that we still are behind the times. We need open fields. We should keep our open fields. Let's not get rid of them and forget about who donated that land, the Ritter family. They are a long-time family here in Tracy, and we should honor their request in regards to where it is and what it is today. Thank you.
Thank you. Same question.
Thank you. Yes, that has been an issue in the paper lately, and it was discussed at the last council meeting. And it's understood that many people are very, very upset about it and against it. And as my fellow gentlemen up here have already stated, as far as the land being donated and everything and all the issues that surrounds that. But we need to look at the further issues kind of underlying that. And that is just really opportunities for youth. We're looking at things here in the city of Tracy, more things that's going to open up positive outlets for the youth in our community. And the ballparks, Holly Sugar is one area that many people have fought for, and we know it's in its development stage right now. But at the same time, this is not the area that we want to disrupt, because as it's already been stated as well, that many people use that ballpark quite frequently, and we need to look at development. Yes, we do need some other multi-unit apartments here in the city of Tracy, but when we do come to the table and look at it really closely, we need to evaluate all the needs of the surrounding areas, the people that will be involved, and as well as the youth. We don't want to cut out any of the youth. Part of the concern also is for the location. It's in a central location where many people access it all the time, whereas Holly Sugar is a little farther out. So we need to take various things into consideration, considering our youth and looking at other opportunities.
Thank you.